The VHP has made actor Kareena Kapoor a poster girl for Love Jihad. The fringe group's magazine Himalaya Dhwani has put Kareena on the cover as a warning against Love Jihad, backing the campaign. Despite the campaign having backfired in the Uttar Pradesh by-polls, the VHP seems to be in no mood to give up. Brajesh Pandey reports.
She's one of India's most sought-after cover girls, an iconic face for fashion, film and lifestyle. But it isn't likely that Kareena Kapoor Khan bargained for featuring on the cover of a Vishva Hindu Parishad journal, published by the fringe Sangh Parivar outfit's women's wing Durga Vahini, where she's labelled a mascot of Love Jihad, an obvious reference to her marriage to actor Saif Ali Khan. The VHP's photo editing leaves nothing to the imagination. Kareena's face, usually made up by the highest paid stylists, photographers and artists in the country, stands half concealed in a burqa. An unmistakable message.
सैफ अली खान कई लड़कियों से अमृता सिंह के बाद भी उनके अफेयर रहे, लेकिन उन्होंने क्यों ही करीना को किया। हम लोगों ने जिन बिंदुओं पे नजर डाली कि क्यों कैसे मुस्लिम लड़का एक हिंदू लड़की को फंसाता है, जो उसके जो कारण थे, जो उसके पीछे के जो सिम्टम्स थे, वो सब के सब इसमें दिखते हैं।
By polls last year, the Prime Minister and Amit Shah had distanced the party from the notion of Love Jihad.
It seems that the fringe Hindu outfits have decided not to pay any heed to PM's missive of lying low. The latest effort on the part of Vishva Hindu Parishad to stir up controversy over Love Jihad is seen as an attempt to assert themselves. It looks like that the battle between good governance and Love Jihad will continue for a while now. With camera person Pradeep Gupta, Brajesh Pandey for Headlines Today.
It has been reported that the Prime Minister held a meeting with Mohan Bhagwat, chief of the RSS, in which he asked the RSS to pull back the fringe elements, to get them to stop making ridiculous comments so that the attention would stay focused on good governance and not fringe side issues like Love Jihad. Clearly, that's not working, and one of the country's top actresses now being used as a prop by the VHP. Joining us on the centre stage face-off, I want to begin by introducing Shaina NC, spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Kamal Farooqi, former chairman of the Delhi Minorities Commission, Dr. Rakesh Ranjan, spokesperson of the Akhil Bharatiya Hindu Mahasabha. Shaina, I want to understand from you the BJP's response to this latest outrage by the VHP. Now, this is a sister organization of the RSS. The Prime Minister wants the VHP and the other fringe organizations to zip up. That's not happening. Why is that not happening? Is the Prime Minister indeed serious about trying to get these organizations to fall in line?
Rahul, let me start by saying that there's no kind of deflection from our main agenda, which is only development. Our Prime Minister has had the humility and the courage to say in Parliament itself that nobody's incidents or nobody's personal opinion is going to deflect the government from the vision plan, which is only progress. And I think we've done incredible work, whether it's Jan Dhan Yojana, the infrastructure projects, ensuring that we launch the Swachh Abhiyan campaign in a way which has never been done before. And I can go on and on and on about points which would probably go on for half an hour. However, in a democracy, you're bound to have people of varied opinions, varied backgrounds, have varied choices of expression. You may subscribe to them, you may not.
Kamal Farooqi, do you share this suggestion from Shaina NC saying the BJP doesn't agree? You've got varied opinions coming from various people. Don't hold Shaina, the BJP or the Prime Minister responsible. They've got nothing to do with this.
It's a very funny position because Shaina knows it very well that these people are a part of the family itself. And you cannot say that one arm of the family is doing something else and the other arm is not responsible. It is not anybody else but the family itself. So they have
non-state actors within the state.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Pakistan. You've got non-state actors
Can I just
operating
add one
with...
point?
No, Shaina,
Rahul,
you must. Yes, go on. Go on.
We are nowhere saying that we don't believe in intercaste, intercommunal marriages. If at all, we've had examples, forget the film industry, in our own party, whether it's leaders like Shahnawaz Hussain, Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi, all of whom have been a part of Hindu-Muslim marriages and in positions of power, myself being a product of a Hindu-Muslim marriage. I don't think there's any apology there. The point here is, please see a reference to context. Love Jihad was not a terminology used by the BJP. It initiated in Kerala, went on to being a subject of discussion where women were being converted, forcibly tortured, and then as part of a trafficking scam which was highlighted by certain governments, be it in UP, be it in Hyderabad, etc. We are not subscribing to any opinion as the government. The government has only one agenda, which is to do the work we have been
No, so is it then not imperative, Dr. Rakesh Ranjan, for organizations like the VHP to fall in line instead of going out and again touting? You've tried and seen what happened when you raised the bogey of Love Jihad before the Uttar Pradesh by-polls. There's been ample literature, several studies that show there is nothing called Love Jihad that goes on. Despite that, different organizations of the RSS keep raising this issue. Are you deliberately trying to derail the Prime Minister's governance agenda? What's going on, sir?
Well, central government must set up an inquiry committee and come forward whether Love Jihad exists or not. They should examine the data based on factual reports, police reports, FIRs, and reporting from various groups whether they are Hindus or Muslim. Why government is so afraid in setting up an inquiry committee and coming out clean that look, here is Love Jihad, or this is the statistics, this is the data?
Because there's nothing called Love Jihad except in the heads of these fringe organizations. There is no data so far which in any way establishes the existence of Love Jihad.
Rooted in Islamic belief. Go to Jihad al-Nikah.
I strongly object to what he's saying. I strongly object to what he's saying.
What is happening in other countries? And it has been happening in India from the day first Muslim arrived in this country. So this must be discussed, widely and with open mind.
No, because first and foremost, it doesn't exist. Secondly, to ask for a government study.
What is the
basis? No, because it's absolutely ridiculous to suggest that there must be a report on Love Jihad. The Prime Minister and the BJP leaders have distanced themselves. I interviewed Amit Shah at the Agenda Aaj Tak event, and he said that the government doesn't believe, the BJP doesn't believe in Love Jihad.
How can government say that they doesn't believe? Have they set an inquiry? Is there any judicial commission?
No, what evidence do you have which you've been able to put together which demonstrates that Love Jihad exists?
We have a right to say that yes, we are sufferer. Please set up an inquiry.
So is it fair for this particular organization, Durga Vahini, to target Kareena Kapoor in this fashion?
No,
if she chooses to marry Saif Ali Khan, that's entirely her wish.
This is the issue between Kareena Kapoor Khan and the editor of that particular magazine.
No, it is not. No, it is not. It is the mindset.
So don't try to mingle two things.
It is not, because it is what
it
actually
it may be.
Sir, what is happening during the last 4 or 5 months? It's a result of all those kind of things. It is not between Kareena Kapoor and that magazine. No, it is basically it is the mindset which is going on. No, I am not talking in the legal terms. Nobody has gotten.
No,
and I'm nobody.
As far as mindset is concerned, of course, Love Jihad is a serious issue. It is not only in India. Globally, it's an issue. Wherever there are Muslims and non-Muslims coexist in a country, their Love Jihad is an issue.
No, one second, Mr. Kamal Farooqi. We've seen two different positions. One second, Shaina, I'm coming back to you. Allow me to come to you first. You've seen Shaina say the BJP has got nothing to do with Love Jihad. If, however, somebody expresses an opinion, we can't do anything about it. You're seeing how Rakesh Ranjan is insisting that he believes that Love Jihad does indeed exist. Can then the BJP or Prime Minister Modi indeed be blamed if somebody does something that they don't agree with, or at least they say they don't agree with?
So we have a right to demand for judicial inquiry.
Basically,
why they're afraid in setting up a commission to inquire in Love Jihad?
Sir, I do not come into picture at all. This is between those people who are raising all these issues and sidelining the agenda of Mr. Modi and Mr. Modi itself. He has to respond to it, whether he would like to have these kind of agitation or all those kind of things which is happening during the last 4 or 5 months.
So do you think he should?
If they want to continue, we have no problem. Let it continue.
So we have no problem. Do you expect that Mr. Modi should come and put a tape on everybody who is demanding his fundamental right?
Where were you for the last 60 years?
Of course,
where were you when UPA government was there for the last 2 terms? In fact,
we kept on demanding, and we were never heard.
It is not.
There was no democracy. That's it.
No, but China, given that these people are part of your family, you know, these are not people you don't have control over. These are people who are part of the larger Asang family. Surely there needs to be greater discipline, there needs to be greater control. You can't wash your hands off and say we've got nothing to do with these fringe elements.
Rahul, this is the propaganda created by segments in society. The BJP and the RSS have nothing to do with fringe elements. If at all, Amit
They are
Shah
not
as
fringe elements. They are
China, nobody is going to believe it.
The VHP is not a fringe element. It's an important part of the RSS.
I'm sorry, nobody is going to believe you, China.
Again.
Nobody is going to believe
even
you.
the conversion laws in this country. Let's come up with an anti-conversion law.
No, one second. Let's just stick focus. One second. These are members of your family. China NC, these are members of your family, are they not? Are they not elements of the larger extended Sangh Parivar? Just answer my question.
The RSS and the BJP do not subscribe to any regressive thought. Individuals who are adults are entitled to marry across communities, across caste barriers. However, any kind of atrocity to a woman under the garb of marriage, if it results in some kind of trafficking, some kind of conversion,
that's not love jihad, that's a straight crime.
An area of concern. I want to say 2 things, Rahul. This photograph that you see is a 1.5-year-old morphed photograph. I have nothing to say about the VHP because I am the spokesperson of the BJP. But please understand that our government is on an agenda to deliver on good governance. We have never swayed from that plank.
I must tell our viewers what happened.
The kind of work
we reached out to several VHP leaders.
That needs to be applauded.
Those who come on TV panels often, and none of them agreed to come and speak. None of them agreed to speak. So clearly, they're putting out these statements, they're putting out these covers, and yet not willing to come out and justify it. This is propaganda that is being spun, and that propaganda needs to be countered. And I think that is the most important thing. China NC, Dr. Rakesh Ranjan, Kamal Farooqi for joining us inside the stage tonight. Thank you. Let's move on to our other big story this evening. 2 days, 2 shootings. France witnessed another shootout today, this time in the Parisian suburb of Montrouge. This shooting came less than 24 hours after the massacre at the Paris offices of Charlie Hebdo, which left 12 people dead, including 2 police officers. It is still not clear if the 2 attacks are linked. Headlines Today gets you the latest details from Paris. Lavina Tandon with this report.
A day after the deadly attack on the Charlie Hebdo office in Paris, fresh shooting reported in Montrouge, a southern suburb of the French capital. 2 men with assault rifles wearing bulletproof vests reportedly opened fire at 2 policemen. 1 woman officer was killed in the attack. The other officer is said to be critical.
I will be holding a meeting with the speakers of the 2 houses of parliament and the representatives of all the political parties to show our common determination.
The gunman managed to escape via the metro. A suspect has reportedly also been detained.
This incident took place at around 8 o'clock here. We know that it started as what looked like a traffic incident. When the policewoman approached the car, the driver got out of the car and shot her, and she has since died from her injuries. There was a second man described as a municipal worker injured in the incident, and he said in a serious condition in hospital. Now, the Interior Minister Bernard Cazeneuve, when he was here earlier, said that gunman is still on the loose. The car that he was driving at that time has been found, but he's thought to have switched to a new car and is travelling and was seen travelling in the direction of Paris from there.
In a third incident, an explosion was reported inside a kebab restaurant in Lyon. The restaurant is located next to a mosque. French media reports say that agencies are not sure if this was an incident of terror.
They were known to French police and intelligence services as members of a network called the Butte-Chaumont network. They were active in the northeast of the city, and this network sent jihadists to fight in Iraq against the US-led occupation.
The French police is probing a possible link between the Charlie Hebdo office massacre and today's attacks.
This is the road in the heavily residential area of Montrouge where the shooting happened, the second shooting in Paris. This is south of Paris, not very far. Within the area itself, the policewoman from the municipality died. She did not carry any gun because by law, the municipality police do not carry gun here, and the colleagues I've been speaking to the colleagues and they are not very happy about this fact. Today, this law was the reason why probably she died in some way as well. I also spoke to the residents here who have been loitering, have been out and about and heard the gunshot. They are worried, of course. The gunman is still not found, but they are worried about the state of France, about what's happening here one after the other, but are hopeful that soon these people will be caught and brought to justice. Lavina Tandon for Headlines Today from Montrouge, Paris.
Two of the three attackers who carried out the attack at the office of Charlie Hebdo magazine in Paris seem to have been tracked down in northern France. There is a massive manhunt on for the two brothers. The world over, journalists pay tribute to the 8 cartoonists who were gunned down yesterday. But the staffers of Charlie Hebdo send out the message that the pen is indeed mightier than the sword by starting work on their next edition a day after the massacre.
A major manhunt is underway for gunmen who shot dead 12 people at the office of the French satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo in Paris. Reports suggest that the two main suspects of the massacre, brothers Sharif and Saeed Kauchi, have been tracked down. The duo were said to be travelling in a grey Renault Clio with number plates covered up. They were said to be wearing thick woolen caps. Weapons were also reportedly seen in the back of the vehicle as the duo drove away from Paris. A third suspect reportedly handed himself in to the police. Protests and vigils over the attack have been held across France.
Here in Place de la République, where people have not stopped coming and lighting a candle, standing by each other, shoulder to shoulder. This attack sent shock waves and sadness all across the city, all across the country, in fact, globally.
The world too joined in solidarity with France to pay tribute to the 8 journalists. With Lavina Tandon in Paris, Shujoy, Headlines Today.
World leaders expressed outrage over the attack on a French magazine office in Paris that killed at least 12 people, with several countries calling emergency meetings of anti-terrorism officials to review security preparedness.
When bullets bloodied the might of pen in Paris, the world stood shaken and shocked.
This was an attack on journalists, attack on our free press. Also underscores the degree to which these terrorists fear freedom of speech and freedom of the press.
So many of us here shows we're not afraid of them. They can do whatever they want. We will stay standing.
It's fascism, in fact. This isn't the beginning of the end, at least I hope not. I still try to be optimistic. But never again, against a newspaper, never again.
And cementing their faith in free speech, they say yesterday's attacks won't break them.
It's also a message of unity behind the values of the French Republic, freedom, of course. So, and we are not going to give up on this.
While Paris stayed awake last night, the French showed that their resolve is unshakable, and more than 150,000 gathered to express solidarity. From common citizen to those in power, there was only condemnation and resolve.
My deepest condolences to the families and my best wishes to all those injured. We stand with the government and people of France.
We must never allow the values that we hold dear of democracy, of freedom of speech, to be damaged by these terrorists. We must stand against what they have done.
Our thoughts are with the people in France, especially those who have to mourn victims. We will do everything possible to help France in such a difficult situation.
Terror rearing its ugly head right at the start of 2015, butchering free speech in the garb of religion. But there's just one answer for those hiding behind their terror mask. They can silence free voices, can never break their spirit. Bureau Report, headlines today.